Hi and welcome to this special edition of Be More Super, the podcast. I've got to say, over this last week, I've had such a great time, and I've got to say thank you to Warner Brothers UK for the invitation to one of the best screenings I've ever been to. Of course, it was The Batman starring Pattinson, Andy Serkis, Paul Dano, and loads of other great actors. And when I got this invitation, I've always been a superhero fan. I've always, gravitated towards Superman, but not Batman. And on this occasion, I like the look of the new Batman. It's completely different. So what I would say, I'm going to do an overview of, a bit about the film, what I enjoyed about it, what I didn't enjoy about it, a bit about the characters, costumes, and the stunts and the action. But I promise you, I will not spoil anything for you. The whole point of this review is, to get those waters wet and you want to go to the cinema to actually watch it, because I recommend it to everyone, but I will explain at the end why I do recommend it. So The Batman. It's probably the most anticipated movies over the past couple of years. We have had a bad time in the pandemic. Everything's shut down and it affected The Batman. So this film has been 5 years in the making, and you can so tell on screen. It's just superbly, is that a word? I'm going to use that word, superbly directed, and the actors did an awesome job. So how does it compare to all the other Batmans? So I'm of that age where Michael Keaton was my Batman in the Tim Burton film, and probably will always be my Batman because of nostalgia. And then you had George Clooney, Val Kilmer, Christian Bale, and Ben Affleck as the Batman in the Zack Snyder movies. So, people ask me, why do I prefer Superman over Batman? And it's probably because Batman for me in the past movies haven't been that gritty, haven't been that dark. For me, from the comics, Batman was always tortured. He always, had that darkness inside of him. And yeah, you did see it in a few of the reincarnations of Batman in previous movies. But this time round, wow, he is gritty, he is dark, and as you know from the trailer, he is vengeance. And I've got a little snippet of, there we go, of Pattinson as Batman. So Pattinson, Robert Pattinson, you will know from Twilight. And when the announcement came of him being Batman, straight away people didn't like it because they associated Pattinson with Twilight. So how could someone from Twilight be Batman? And people often forget that Pattinson has got an amazing, string of projects to his name that he really shines on screen. So I went in to the showing of The Batman on Thursday just gone at the special screening in Leicester Square, and I went in with an open mind. Yes, I have seen Twilight, I've seen it a few times, but I've got to say Pattinson could be my new favourite Batman. And I really can't believe I'm saying that he could be my new favourite Batman. And don't get me wrong, I'm a massive Zack Snyder fan. I absolutely love the Justice League and the Batman that he created within his movies. And I have, interviewed people involved with those projects, especially Richard Citrone, who was a stunt double for Ben Affleck in the Zack Snyder movies. But I liked this Batman. There was something about him that, you felt he was tortured, that he had something inside of him. And I just loved how he was portrayed on screen. And Pattinson did an absolute stellar job. He really did. From the moment you first see him to seeing his journey in that movie. And don't forget, this movie is 2 hours and 55 minutes long. And people may think, wow, that is just too long for a movie. But not one point was I bored. Not one point did I look at my watch and think, how long have I got left? Literally, the ride did not stop from the beginning of the movie to the end. So Pattinson, for me, is probably my new favourite Batman. And he does such a great job. And I'm so glad that going into this movie with an open mind, that, you know, I didn't judge too much. I didn't expect too much. And I wasn't disappointed. So for me, Pattinson did an amazing job. And Matt Reeves, the director, chose a great guy to become the new Batman. And what I would say as well is that this movie is a Batman unlike any other. So this movie isn't like The Dark Knight or Batman Returns or the Joel Schumacher, series of Batmans. This is a brand new, developed Batman that we see on screen. A lot more grittier, he's just raw and dark and yeah, it was fantastic. It was just amazing. It's probably one of the best films I've seen in many years. And I came out of there absolutely buzzing. And I couldn't sleep. All I was thinking about was the film and the characters and the story. And while we're talking about characters, again, there are many characters in the movie that you will see that you will absolutely love. So let me just take him off the screen.
I got you! I got you! Take that, you friggin' psycho! I got you!
And we'll talk about Colin Farrell. There he is. Oh, that side. And he plays Penguin. And I've got to say, I don't know. Please comment below if you agree or if you've got any views on this. But he looks a bit like Robert De Niro. And the first, bit that he comes on screen, I honestly, if someone hadn't told me it was Colin Farrell, I would have swore blind that it was Robert De Niro. But saying that, he plays such a good character in that movie. He really does. And what I like about this movie is that, over the 3 hours, you get to see the characters develop. You get to know them. And again, it's a complete reincarnation of the character. It's completely different to anything that you've seen before. So please don't go in there expecting to see Danny DeVito's portrayal. It's completely different. And I love that about the film. It was like you was watching a Batman movie for the very first time, because it is completely different. And I'll just take Penguin off the screen. There we go. And then we've got the wonderful Zoe Kravitz that plays Catwoman.
You're pretty good at that.
She does an amazing job. In the film, you see her very vulnerable, but you see the feistiness inside of her. And again, the character develops through the movie. Casting-wise, I couldn't think of any other person perfect for the part of Catwoman. Again, if you disagree, remember, these are my personal views, and we're all different. We all like different things and hate different things. So please, if you think that someone else is better suited for playing Catwoman, please comment below. We can have a discussion about it. So, again, she's just a great character, and you see her on screen. I don't want to spoil it, but you will love this character. You really, really will. And lastly, I just want to give a massive, massive shout out to Paul Dano, who plays the Riddler. And honestly, Oscar worthy is an understatement. Paul does such a great job in portraying a Riddler that we've never seen before. So again, when you go in and you watch this movie, you will be taken back by the character of the Riddler. We are so used to this comic creation of I know, as you can see from the costume there, he's in a Parker jacket. He's in something that you would get at the local adult store on his head. But his voice, his acting ability is just astonishing. And if he doesn't get recognised awards, I'll be very, very, very surprised. This film, I think, is probably one of my favourite Batman movies now. And the main reason for this is that you can tell Matt Reeves really concentrated on the characters, really developed the story, and it shows on screen. It wasn't over the top with gadgets. It wasn't over the top with, what we expect from a superhero movie. It definitely goes back to how Batman was a detective. And the story is so well written, it really does, leave you wanting more. And my experience from watching this film has been mind-blowing. So, I urge everyone to go out there, get your tickets. It's out on March the 4th. Sit back, open mind, and enjoy the movie, because action scenes were just amazing, so well shot. When we talk about reviews, I don't want to go into detail, because I think a movie like this, if you went into too much detail, it would sort of spoil it. And I want to give all the viewers and the listeners out there a chance to actually go and watch this movie. And I'd be really interested to hear what your thoughts are around the Batman. So please, once you've seen the movie and you've got your thoughts, please comment below on this video, and we can have a great discussion about this awesome movie. But once again, thank you so much to Warner Brothers UK for inviting me down to London to actually watch the movie. It was such an honour. We got treated so well. I was walking around London for a couple of hours because my train got there pretty early. But it was well worth the wait, and I can't wait to see what else Matt Reeves has got with the Batman. But yeah, enjoy, and I'm really excited for everyone out there to see this movie. I really am. So yeah, that is my review. I know it's a bit of an odd one, because when I was writing the review and writing notes, I thought, what could I say about this movie? In a nutshell, it's a masterpiece. It's astonishing. It's uplifting in places. But what I like about it is dark, gritty, and real. That is my best sum up. Dark, gritty, and real. Because, it's not too much fantasy. It's quite real world. And yeah, you will enjoy it. So I give this film a massive 5 stars, because it's probably one of the best films I've seen in years, and it's made me a new Batman fan all over again, and it's definitely made Pattinson my Batman. So thank you, Pattinson, for your amazing work. Thank you, Matt Reeves, for directing an awesome, absolute awesome film.